Against the Wizards. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another season of the NBA and ESPN, along with Jeff Van Gundy, Mike Green on hand. Mark Jackson will join us at some point during the season, but we're ready to go, and the Cavs are ready to go. There's talk of this team perhaps winning a championship this year. There's some people in the Cavaliers organization that believes it can happen. What do you think?
No chance. But I really think they have a chance with LeBron James being the best player on the floor every night in the Eastern Conference that they could upset Boston or Detroit in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Well, they have some high hopes. Meanwhile, they play the Wizards, a team hoping to improve from last year, hoping to get healthy. And still no Gilbert Arenas, a couple of months away. Caron Butler, Atan Thomas, Antoine Jamison, Deshaun Stevenson, Antonio Daniels starting for head coach Eddie Jordan. And for the Cavaliers, the Jonas Ilgauskas back in the middle with Ben Wallace, of course, LeBron James, Delonte West, and the new Cav Mo Williams. Many think that could be the player that puts them over the top. The new acquisition from the Milwaukee Bucks, and he's in the starting lineup for head coach Mike Brown. Regular season starts on Tuesday. Both teams, I'm sure, no doubt, have had enough of the preseason. Although this is fun for fans here down in Columbus. Don't normally get a chance to see NBA action up close. And we're underway. At this point, Jeff, in the season, whether you're a coach or player, you just want the regular season to start, correct?
You do, but they have to get a better rhythm. More and more teams are going away from playing their players minutes in the preseason, and then I think it's very difficult to develop a rhythm early in the season from your shooting standpoint and offensive standpoint.
Delonte West now starting at the two guard, kicks it out to James. James, of course, played a lot this summer in Beijing and knocks down the first shot. A three-pointer for LeBron James. And he's one of those that really feels this team can do something special this year.
Well, every night they should have a very good defensive team and a very good rebounding team. And when you have LeBron James and his ability to run pick and rolls and make plays, if you surround him with enough shooting, you can win a lot of games.
He draws the foul on Antonio Daniels after the steal. That's the amazing thing about James. Of course, not only scores, rebounds, distributes. He was also 10th in the NBA last year in steals. He does it all, and he's still not even 24 years old.
And Mike Brown was telling us earlier today that he thinks he's one of the top on-ball defenders in the NBA. His practice habits have improved steadily since he first came to the Cavaliers. His seriousness, his focus. And when your best player is serious and focused with the task at hand, which is trying to put yourself in a position to win an NBA championship, LeBron James's focus is going to give his teammates the best possible chance.
Because he's been the leader of this team pretty much since he came in, despite the fact that he was one of the youngest on the team. And you show his leadership abilities in Beijing with all those NBA All-Stars playing for Team USA. He was the vocal leader of that team.
Well, and Mike Brown was addressing that. His weak side defense, his talk, his activity away from the ball has really improved. And Mike Brown is as good a teacher of defense as we have in the league, and he puts a lot of emphasis on it. And I think the Cavaliers have a lot of offensive holes. But defense and rebounding, they can hang their hat on, and James making plays in the fourth quarter.
And there's Mo Williams, knocks down his first shot. You talk about offensive holes. He's expected to fill a lot. What's your scouting report and your feeling on Mo Williams?
Well, he put up big numbers last year on a bad team, and I never trust big numbers on a bad team. But he can shoot it. He's got exceptional quickness off the dribble, and he gives them another pick-and-roll player.
Williams averaging last couple of years over 17 a game for a Bucks team that was not a good team, that struggled. But he's a very confident player and says he's going to bring leadership to this team in terms of on-the-court leadership, directing. He can score, but he's also a good distributor as well. And look at that high shooting percentage, including 48% last year.
He's really struggled shooting the ball so far in the preseason. And that's what I mean. Like, he's not playing many minutes. It'll be interesting to see as Wallace lays it in, if he can get into a rhythm early in the season, playing with a guy like LeBron James who has the ball in his hands so much.
Meanwhile, Cleveland off to a good start as Ilgauskas called for the foul on Atan Thomas. Last year, the Cavaliers, they won 45 games, a little down from the previous two when they won 50. And then in the first round, they beat these Wizards in 6 games and then had that thrilling 7-game series against the Boston Celtics. Of course, they played Game 7 on the road. They'd like to make sure those games are at home this year. James with a block shot. Norrie done a little bit of everything. And there's Delonte West, one of those players acquired last February in that big trade. James, bank shot, gets it to go. You know, before the game, walking around the arena, a lot of kids here are saying, boy, I hope LeBron plays. I hope LeBron plays because of what you talked about in the preseason. He didn't play in the last game. You get the feeling he understands a bit that he's got to put on a little show for some of these fans who normally don't see him play.
Danny Ferry, the GM of the Cavaliers, was saying he expects him to play over 30 minutes. And I think it's something the NBA has to address, is getting the players to play in the preseason. These fans sometimes get one shot to see these guys, and it's almost like a bait and switch if they don't play when healthy.
Ilgauskas flips up his shot, and that's an air ball. LeBron James has only been playing 18 minutes a game so far. And, of course, as we mentioned, sat out the last one against Detroit. Cavs off to a terrific start. Antoine Jamison knocks it down. Meanwhile, the Wizards, talk about a team that wants the preseason to end. They've been all over the place. They traveled to Europe. They were in Berlin. They were in Barcelona. They've also had road games in Memphis, in Dallas, in San Antonio, and now in Columbus. They've hardly been home. That's a tough preseason schedule.
And they've endured injury after injury, which never makes it easy.
But Eddie Jordan feels that they're starting to play a little bit better. He was really encouraged by their recent game against the San Antonio Spurs. They're without Gilbert Arenas, as we mentioned, still with the knee problems, won't be back till January the earliest. And then they had the Brendan Haywood injury. He's going to be out probably about 6 months as Caron Butler knocks it down. But they've dealt with injuries before and played well despite.
They really have. Eddie Jordan probably did as good a job as anyone in the league last year. 37 and 32 without Arenas. Really a tremendous job. He's got an exceptional offensive mind, a great demeanor during adversity, and he's just keeps grinding it out year after year. And when they get Arenas back, I think they have a chance to make a push because they're so dynamic offensively.
Foul called on Thomas. Jordan is in his 5th year as head coach. Mike Brown in his 4th year. They're the longest tenured in the Eastern Conference. As Ilgauskas knocks down the free throw. Jordan, the former star at Rutgers. I still remember, I mean, he was a good college player.
Yeah, I actually worked with him when we were both at Rutgers as assistant coaches, and he was like 35 or 36 at that time and was still the best player in the program, unfortunately.
9-5 the early going. About 4 minutes gone by here in Columbus. Big weekend in Columbus. Of course, the big college football game coming up tomorrow night. Ohio State, Penn State, everybody talking about that. But they're also excited to see some preseason action as Deshaun Stevenson misfires.
I know we're not supposed to take sides, but how good would it to be see Joe Pa at Lewis Dunson run the table?
You just took sides.
Yes, I did, but that's okay. That's okay because he's 81. If anybody deserves to run the table and win it all, it's him.
He doesn't want to be referred to as Joe Pa.
We're staying at the same hotel. We're almost like a kindred spirit.
Antonio Daniels. Daniels, of course, starting once again with the absence of Arenas. Ball knocked loose. Thomas picks it up and banks it in. And Etan Thomas, he will play a huge role for this team. Him and Haywood have been alternating with center, being the center position for the Wizards last couple of years, although Thomas did not play at all last year after undergoing open heart surgery. But just amazing what they're able to do medically today. He is fine and fit and ready to go. And with Haywood going to be out for a good portion of the year, he's going to have to play more minutes than he's had in the past.
Yeah, and they're really going to miss Haywood's length. He's a tremendous defender, protecting the basket, and not maybe as energetic or forceful as Etan Thomas, but certainly more of a true center with his size and length.
Butler misfires and Ben Wallace the rebound. Of course, the Cavs, when you talk about last year winning 45 games, and they were inconsistent at times during the regular season, they made some major changes, including getting the likes of Wallace and West and Wally Zerbiak. As Mo Williams fires away again and knocks it down. That's a difficult thing midseason to make such a drastic change, isn't it?
It is, but I don't think they like their chemistry. I thought they added some good pieces. One piece I think they're going to miss from that trade of last year is Joe Smith. I think Joe Smith is a good chemistry guy. Shoots it well, very good team defender. I think it's one of the problems they have right now. Where are they going to get scoring out of the 4 spot for Cleveland? And that's where I think LeBron James will play more in a small lineup, playing as a 4-man with a 3-guard lineup.
That's the talk, that he will play more of the 4. Joe Smith was in that deal that acquired Mo Williams, and Thomas with a good finish as the shot clock expires. The Wizards last year, they were 43-39. They were the 5th seed in the East and lost for the 3rd straight year to the Cavaliers in the playoffs. 3rd straight year in the first round. They've had some harsh feelings in those postseason series. Last year, a very, very physical series as Butler takes it away from West and knocks him down. Jamison. And Jamison able to put it in.
Antoine Jamison is a 4-man that makes it very hard to defend. He can score in the post over smaller players. He can stretch the floor to the 3-point line when you put size on him. A very difficult cover.
Still a timeout call. LeBron James already, Jeff, doing a little bit of everything. As he's got 5 points, couple of assists, a rebound, a blocked shot. First quarter here in Columbus, Ohio. Preseason action. Cavs up by 4.
To me, comfort is being home, being with my friends, being with my dog Sam. But when I think of Wrangler, I think of something that's going to last. You know, you just think of something that's just going to be there and be there and be there. I guess the word would be reliable. Wrangler 5-star premium denim jeans, built tough to keep you comfortable. Wrangler, real comfortable jeans.
The company that's brought America stylishly affordable vehicles has now made it even easier. Now you can get $5,000 cash back on the Kia Sedona minivan and the Kia Sorento midsize SUV. Both come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty and a 5-star crash safety rating. That's 2 incredible vehicles, 1 incredible deal. With $5,000 cash back, how can you afford not to?
When a cold chill begins to burn at your very soul, that's the sweet touch of love. Oh, when just a drop of a name begins to sting your very toe, that's the sweet touch of love. Oh, yes it is. Just the thought of not seeing you would blow my mind.
I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
Senator Obama, I am not President Bush.
True, but you did vote with Bush 90% of the time. Tax breaks for big corporations and the wealthy, but almost nothing for the middle class. Same as Bush. Keep spending $10 billion a month in Iraq while our own economy struggles. Same as Bush. You may not be George Bush, but
I voted with the president over 90% of the time, higher than a lot of my even Republican colleagues.
First quarter preseason action for LeBron James and the Cavs. Let's look at our Kia Motors keys to the season from our Jeff Van Gundy.
Well, here it is. LeBron's got to be great every night, which he is capable of. They have to find a consistent guard rotation that plays with efficiency, and then they should be a dominant rebounding team. They've got to be able to count on a backcourt advantage every night, and if they have that, if they do those 3 things, they can be in the running to win the Eastern Conference, because LeBron James in any series, as we saw a couple years ago against Detroit, he can just take over. He can win a road game by himself. And when you put that good a player on the floor, you always have a chance.
Well, he almost won Game 7 in Boston when he had 45. That was the game Paul Pierce had 41 as the Celtics advanced on their way to the championship. But they have all the ingredients, as you say. They have the star player. They're a defensive first because of Brown. They have a little more depth this year, but just some of those little things they need to work on that you want to see get better.
I still think they have scoring issues. Now, this lineup right here with James at the 4, to me, is a very difficult cover.
Wally Zerbiak's in, and Zerbiak got the 2. Ilgauskas, nice pass to West, and then West able to put it in. Ilgauskas, one of the better big passing big men in the NBA. And good to see him back. We always talk about one of the ultimate pros now is an 11th year in the league.
And Danny Ferry was mentioning to me today that he's a great practice player. With all the injuries he's sustained, he still loves to come into the gym after so many years in the league.
Mo Williams a little out of control. Jamison, good outlet pass to Daniels. Daniels one man to beat it. Zerbiak got hit in the head. Goes down hard. And Daniels will take a couple of free throws.
And I've always been scared with Antonio Daniels when he's in transition. He always takes it off the dribble with one hand, and I think leaves himself very vulnerable to very hard falls and injury. I'd like to see him take it up with two and be a little bit more balanced to protect himself.
Well, he just mentioned something to Zerbiak when he walked past, but it was more of everybody okay type of thing. As Zerbiak picks up his first foul, Daniels is again the starter with all the injury problems that Arenas has had. Reminder, the NBA regular season starts Tuesday. Great doubleheader on TNT as these Cavs will start off in Boston, followed by Portland and Greg Oden and the Lakers. Coverage begins at 7. ESPN Wednesday, we've got 2 terrific games. Phoenix and San Antonio from Texas, and then the Lakers and Clippers. Coverage begins at 7. And NBA TV next Saturday, Washington at Detroit, followed by Portland at Phoenix. A lot of fun stories coming into this season, and we'll get into them during the course of tonight's game as the ball goes through the hand of West. All right, since Portland was on the schedule a couple of times, that is such a fun young team. Now you put Greg Oden down there, and I know you're a big fan of Nate McMillan's.
Tremendous basketball coach, and I think it'll be very interesting to see if their team with expectations can play as well as they did last year. You know, will Oden be an offensive force?
There's an offensive foul called, I believe, against LeBron James. Yep.
Matt must have not got the memo there that LeBron James does not foul in Ohio.
Matt being Matt Boland, you're on first name basis with him.
Oh, yeah, we're tight. But anyway, my point is, it'll be interesting to see if Oden is what he's described to be, which is a defensive and rebounder. I remember when Patrick Ewing came into the NBA, that's how he was expected to play, and then he turned into one of the greatest offensive centers to ever play this game. So I think it'll be interesting to see how Oden's offense develops, and is he that dominant defender rebounder every night.
Zerbiak fouled Jamison. Second foul on Zerbiak. The thing with Oden is he doesn't have to be a big scorer on that team. Takes a little pressure off him.
Well, I'm not sure about that. I think he does have to score, Mike. I think when you look at their team, Brandon Roy can score, but has had some injury issues. Who else can they go to every night to score the ball? I think he's got to score 16 to 18 points a night for them to develop into the next level of playoff team and then move on up into a 50-win team, particularly in the West.
And again, they start off on Tuesday in that game. We'll see him a lot on the TV schedule. Nice pass, West. Varejao, Anderson Varejao. He's come back in terrific shape, lost a little weight, got back some of his quickness. Part of a Cavs team that has terrific size. Butler to Daniels. Wide open jumper for Antonio Daniels. He thought he was a 3, but it's the college 3 that's there because this is the home court of the Ohio State Buckeyes. West given the open look. Delonte West, who also played very well in the playoffs for them last year, especially in the Boston series, had a couple of big games helping the Cavs get it to that Game 7.
He's got great competitive spirit and nose for the ball.
Daniels, shot clock winding down. Butler, tough turnaround shot, air ball.
That's great closeout by LeBron James. Without going for a head fake, took Butler out of his jump shot and then contested the pull-up and made him shoot the air ball.
Another nice pass from West and a pretty spin move from Varejao. And the Cavaliers up by 4. They're shooting 64%. Some good unselfish ball movement from Cleveland.
Well, with James at the 4, you've got the floor spread, and the center is going to be open.
And Thomas tries to slam over Varejao. Thomas takes a little exception. Varejao was just underneath him. And quickly, Matt Boland gets in between them. It's going to be a call. Varejao and Thomas do a good job working it out. And everybody's happy.
You're like a counselor. You just love to see happy endings.
Well, we just had one there. So we're very pleased. What a good timeout. Just under 2.5 to play first quarter. And the Cavaliers looking sharp.
Sometimes progress is about knowing when to stop. The same can be said for drinking. Please drink Johnny Walker responsibly.
That's weird. Why is there a Domino's guy here? I'll take care of this.
Hi, I have an oven-baked sandwich for Steve.
Yeah, I'm Steve, but why would I order a Domino's oven-baked sandwich? I love Submart. Just leave it on the side of the building. Poor guy was lost.
Introducing Domino's oven-baked sandwiches. 4 flavors baked at 450 degrees and delivered right to your mouth. Just $4.99. Domino's. You got 30 minutes.
The company that's brought America stylishly affordable vehicles has now made it even easier. Now you can get $5,000 cash back on the Kia Sedona minivan and the Kia Sorento midsize SUV. Both come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty and a 5-star crash safety rating. That's 2 incredible vehicles, 1 incredible deal. With $5,000 cash back, how can you afford not to?
Where am I? At the intersection of my new life and my new lifestyle, driving.
Get the right coverage at a great price. Talk to a State Farm agent.
I am so there.
Cavaliers and the Wizards have met each other the last 3 years in the postseason, including a very physical series last year that Cleveland wound up winning in the first round in 6 games. A lot of it was started by Deshaun Stevenson saying that LeBron James was overrated. And then the physical hard fouls continued throughout the playoff series. And part of the hard feelings is because the Wizards have lost 3 straight years to them in that first round.
Well, memo to the Wizards. When a guy averages 37 and 7, he's not overrated, okay? He's just great. And it's okay to say about your opponent, he's a great player. And the idea that they were going to hit him hard and he was going to cower over their physicality was misguided. And I love James's poise through all the hits. He just kept taking it to the basket, walking to the free throw line, and making them pay.
Well, James said, he was asked about it the other day prior to this game, because him and Stevenson went back and forth and it got a little out of hand. James said, hey, that's over. If it was a small thing, hopefully he doesn't think anything of it, because I don't.
Well, when you win those series, you never think about it.
Right. Thomas misses a couple of free throws. And Daniel Gibson, Boobie Gibson, in for the first time. He'll play both the 1 and the 2. Right now, the backup to Mo Williams. Mike Brown telling us that Gibson's added a bit to his offensive repertoire. He's a good 3-point shooter. Now doing a little more as the shot clock winds down. James gets to the basket. Hard drive and puts it in. Just overwhelms Jamison, and thought he should have been called for the chance for a 3-point play as well.
The ability to take that contact and finish on the way down, that strength is very rare.
Jamison throws it out of bounds. Good defense from the Cavs.
Running a late pick and roll, great hesitation, goes to the rim. A very good no call by the official because of the verticality, but just overpowering strength.
He disagreed with you.
Yeah, that's okay. He's not the first and not going to be the last, I have a feeling.
Well, he's got 7 points in the early going. Here's Serbiak. Gibson on the drive. That's the new repertoire, taking the ball to the basket. Little floater in the lane that Mike Brown told us about.
Well, when you're such a great three-point shooter, the defense is always going to close hard and try to run you off your shot. So you have to have a game either going to the basket or a mid-range game.
Daniels, the runner, draws some contact. Nice play from Daniels. And a chance for a three-point play. Eddie Jordan's gone with his 5 starters the whole first quarter here. Meanwhile, 5 reserves already in for Cleveland. Daniels is he's just a good, solid player. Now in his 12th year in the league. Most of it's been a backup. When a point guard like an Arenas gets injured, he steps up and always seems to do a good job. One of the best in the league year after year in assist-to-turnover ratio.
Yeah, solid, not spectacular. Doesn't make a lot of mistakes. You know what you're going to get from him, which is always what you want from any player who's going to be a bench type of guy.
Jamison, meanwhile, with a good follow. And the Wizards within 4. Final minute here in the opening quarter.
Mike, I'm not even going to rage right now early in the season about giving up free throw rebounds, okay? I'm going to save that for opening night if it happens.
Let's ease into it. Pavlovich on the drive, stripped. And they're going to call a foul. Antonio Daniels says no to Derek Stafford, but Pavlovich will shoot 2. As Nick Young coming in for the first time, second-year guard out of USC, who they're very, very high on in Washington. He had a knee problem that he hurt before camp, missed the first 6 games of the preseason, finally played, and that's what he did. 15 points against the Spurs in 18 minutes. Pavlovich misfires.
Young can get his shot off, Mike. He's got a game off the dribble. He can create his own shot. For him, he's got to learn the defensive end of the game and how to play without the ball.
Just 23 years old. And again, the likes of Nick Young and some others have to pick up the scoring slack without Gilbert Arenas. Unfortunately for Washington, they're used to playing without Arenas. And a foul on Lorenzen Wright, the veteran. He's signed as a free agent with the Cavs. Found Andre Blatch. So they're in the penalty. And going to the line is another key player for Washington, Andre Blatch, just 22 years old, already in his 4th year. We've seen signs of him being very strong, but he's inconsistent. As he hits the first free throw. And they need him to be a little consistent with Brendan Haywood out. He's had some nights where you think, wow, this kid's going to be unbelievable.
Exactly. He's got a good skill set offensively as far as being able to put the ball on the ground, shoot it a little bit. Whether he can be that consistent force and earn minutes over Darius Sangalia as the backup 5 will be an interesting decision for Eddie Jordan.
Sangaya's in. Juan Dixon, who's back in Washington with the Wizards, he's in as well. That's him guarding Gibson with the ball. About a 4-second difference between shot and game clock as we wind down the first. Pavlovich kicks it out. Gibson fires away. That's a 2-pointer. Blatch the rebound. Final seconds. Dixon just gets it off in time and hits a 2-pointer at the buzzer. Looked like he got it off in replay. And they can also now check if it's a 2 or a 3. Well, they can do that during the course of the game, not just at the end of quarters. Ball is up. There's the light. 2 points for Dixon, and the Wizards finish on an 8-0 run here in Columbus, Ohio, on the campus of Ohio State University. Cavaliers making a little trip to play their final preseason game, all even after 1.
What's this? The new BlackBerry? You've seen BlackBerries before. It's no big deal. Maybe one quick peek, just to see what all the fuss is about. Whoa.
When your engine's running clean, you feel it. And Pennzoil Platinum Motor Oil can clean out up to 46% of sludge in the first oil change. Our ultimate clean for your ultimate feeling. Not just oil, Pennzoil.
the hell is that?
Our next nightmare.
If it's Halloween,
What do you want from me?
They're watching us.
it must be Saw. Let the games begin. Saw 5, rated R. In theaters today.
As you can see, I have achieved the ISO motion. Watch the crossover. Bam, one more time in his face. IT summertime, baby. Oh, there you go, Derrick Rose. Oh, there we go. There we go. West Side.
Rated E for everyone.
West Side.
The company that's brought America stylishly affordable vehicles has now made it even easier. Now you can get $5,000 cash back on the Kia Sedona minivan and the Kia Sorento midsize SUV. Both come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty and a 5-star crash safety rating. That's 2 incredible vehicles, 1 incredible deal. With $5,000 cash back, how can you afford not to?
A is for Atlanta. And in the chase, A means hauling asphalt with attitude. Because this action-packed, adrenaline-filled quad oval is anything but anticlimactic. This week, leading an absolutely awesome high-octane armada, Jimmy Johnson goes all in as he aims for a 3rd straight title. So with only 4 races left, nothing about this A is automatic. The chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup continues at Atlanta, Sunday at 1 Eastern on ABC.
I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
Senator Obama, I am not President Bush.
True, but you did vote with Bush 90% of the time. Tax breaks for big corporations and the wealthy, but almost nothing for the middle class. Same as Bush. Keep spending $10 billion a month in Iraq while our own economy struggles. Same as Bush. You may not be George Bush, but
I voted with the president over 90% of the time, higher than a lot of my even Republican colleagues.
In the know, NASCAR fans love a day at the track to see their favorite drivers. But now NASCAR fans can get the latest stats and race details no matter where they are. With NASCAR Sprint Cup Mobile, Sprint customers receive round-the-clock NASCAR news, race analysis, results, and so much more on their phone. And it's included with any data plan.
Gives you live audio, gives you live team chatter, gives you race telemetry. So if you can't make it out to the track, NASCAR Sprint Cup Mobile gives you the best possible access.
For more, visit sprint.com/speed. And now you're in the know.
Tomorrow night, the big game right here in Columbus, 8 Eastern on ABC. Number 3 and undefeated Penn State against number 9 Ohio State. That is all everybody's talking about around here. Last couple of days here in Columbus, you've already put in your 2 cents. I think you're going for Penn State.
No, it's a tough ticket to get at the Horseshoe. That's where they play, Mike, just so you know.
Yes, I know.
The Horseshoe. So,
very good.
And I love the stat. They haven't won there since 1978. Penn State hasn't.
Could be the year.
But they haven't played there very often either. I always find those stats relatively meaningless, since what does that have to do with this year's game? But anyway.
What's amazing, though, is Gibson comes up short. You know how many years ago did, and this has been a while now, they're saying, Joe Paterno should retire. Joe Paterno should retire. And what a great job he's done with that squad.
How about this? Leave him alone. Just let him coach till he doesn't want to coach anymore.
Loose ball foul called on Sangaila as we begin the 2nd quarter. Nixon taking off some tape. Now retying the sneaker. Juan Dixon, another guy, good serviceable guy who's bounced around a little bit in the league last year with Detroit. He's played for Portland, Toronto earlier in his career with Washington after a great career at Maryland.
It's just hard for undersized 2 guards to find an everyday niche role in a rotation for a good team because of all the post-up 2 guards.
And another foul away from the ball. This will go against Nick Young. So a couple of quick fouls. Cavaliers, as we said, they will begin their regular season Tuesday in Boston. Get to watch the big ceremony for the banner. That's not going to be a fun night. As Varejao, good hustle, gets it out to Zerbiak, and Zerbiak can't connect. Pavlovich had it, falls to Lorenzen Wright. Second effort, little fake, got hammered. And the veteran Wright will shoot 2. That's the type on the schedule you're like, I don't want to go there and sit there for the long ceremony.
Oh, I think
You think that's
if you're a
motivation?
competitor, you want to go. I don't think they need motivation. I think it's just a great opportunity to go in there and get a quality road win in your first game. LeBron James has come out and says he doesn't know if he's going to watch it or not, but I think it's going to be a great test for Boston right off the bat. Do they have the same intensity and passion at the defensive end they had last year? Are they going to miss James Posey? Do they have a backup point guard that they can count on every night? To me, they've got a lot of questions coming into the season.
Doc Rivers, now you expect Kevin Garnett to come back because that's just the way he always plays, but what he's been impressed with was the hunger Paul Pierce has come back with, as we have a defensive 3 seconds called against the Cavaliers. Pierce, who was magnificent, finals MVP, has come back with a vengeance. So on the technical foul on the defensive 3, Young will shoot it. Posey, of course, now in New Orleans with the Hornets. A very nice pickup for the Hornets, who have looked impressive in the preseason. Again, you can't get carried away, but and Rivers has said too he doesn't expect them, not going to win as many regular season games. You don't expect that to happen, but there is still certainly one of the best teams in the league going in. Young on the floater and Varejao the rebound. Cavs will give him a fight, and of course Detroit still has so much talent. As Zerbiak, who do you like to be a challenge for Boston, Jeff?
Well, those two teams you mentioned, Mike, are the only two teams that I could see that could beat Boston in a 7-game series. I think James by himself can win any one series, like I was saying before. Detroit certainly has offensive capabilities, although I think they're really going to miss Flip Saunders as the coach. I think no one did a better and more underrated job than Saunders did in his time in Detroit. Won 59 games last year, and they're a tough team to coach. That's not an easy group to deal with. So this idea that they're going to be better because they've got a new coach, we'll wait and see. The jury's out on that. If they're going to be better, they got to get to the finals, and they've got to win it all.
Michael Curry, the former player, in his first year as a head coach. Blatch with a nice jumper, able to knock it down. But talk about, expectations and a tough act to follow. As you say, under Flip Saunders, they get to the Eastern Conference Finals.
And they lost to championship teams 2 of those 3 years. So I always am amazed at the bashing of head coaches once they're fired and out of the way. This idea that now they didn't do great things there in Detroit when Flip Saunders was there is just a misnomer.
Shot from Dominic McGuire, the other second-year player who had some spot time as a rookie last season. Zerbiak lines it up off the mark. There's Dixon. All tied at 28. Almost 3 minutes gone by here in the second. Eddie Jordan wants to call a timeout and talk with his troops. The Washington Wizards finishing up their long preseason. Again, much of it on the road. Right now, they're tied with the Cavs.
ESPN's presentation of NBA Friday, brought to you by the Phenomenal 4 from Mitsubishi. 4 cars, 4 cylinders, 0 compromises.
It started with a nickel here, a dime there. Before long, high gas prices had taken control. But then came the Phenomenal 4 from Mitsubishi. Lancer, Galant, Eclipse, Outlander, armed with Mitsubishi's 4-cylinder Myvec engine, which combines fuel efficiency and performance, so you can take back control from the pump. 4 cars, 4 cylinders, 0 compromises. Visit your Mitsubishi dealer today.
Oh, take one sign. I will obey your orders. Reach into your unguarded basket and only take one single caramel-filled bar. I will then go to the end of the block, turn around, and take just one again.
Life's better. The Milky Way.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. What are you doing? Put the jug down. Put it down. This one's cheaper. Listen, your engine's the last place you want to skimp, right? I mean, you want to go with the leader. The one America's counted on for over 80 years. Kind you can put in any make or model. Get it?
Got it.
Good. Let's go, Sparky.
Okay.
When it comes to antifreeze, you're in a car guy knows. Only Prestone is Prestone.
Nice. Look here.
Ruby Tuesday burgers are made with high-quality ingredients and fresh, never-frozen beef. With 25 choices, starting from $5.99 all day, every day. So good, it's guaranteed.
National title on the line. The undefeated Nittany Lions battle the Buckeyes. Saturday Night Football on ABC, presented by Southwest Airlines. Number 3 Penn State versus number 9 Ohio State. Saturday at 8 Eastern. College football lives here.
America's richest horse, Curlin, runs for a second straight classic win.
And they're off.
The Breeders' Cup, the richest event in sports, continues tomorrow on ABC and ESPN.
Hi, everyone. I'm Matt Weiner. This is SportsCenter right now. Tom Brady's doctors say despite 3 surgeries now on his left knee, his timetable for a return has not changed. The last 2 procedures were to deal with infection. Chris Mortensen tells us Bengals quarterback Carson Palmer is unlikely to play another game this season, but will delay his decision on surgery on his right elbow till later. Next SportsCenter happens at 11 Eastern time on ESPN News.
All right, Matt, the Value City Arena. That's where this NBA preseason game is. Home of the Ohio State Buckeyes. Of course, John Havlicek, Jerry Lucas, Jimmy Jackson, Katie Smith. That's Gary Brad's also out there. Played in the late 60s, early 70s, I'm told. You know, we talk about LeBron James and the gold medal. How about Katie Smith and the United States women with another gold medal? They just win them Olympic after Olympics.
4 in a row, I believe.
Yeah.
Katie Smith winning WNBA championships. Another bad trade by Minnesota, getting rid of her. My goodness.
Meanwhile, this is a beautiful arena. It seats over 19,000. Bergeau draws the foul and one. Nice move on Sangaila, so he's got a chance at a 3-point play.
And let me tell you, their practice facility, I went to watch Ohio State men's basketball practice today. Their practice facility is a great facility. And boy, Thad Matta, I was so impressed with their practice today. That guy can really, really coach.
And the former Buckeye coach, Randy Ayers, now an assistant to Eddie Jordan.
And one of his great players that we saw retired jersey, Jim Jackson, was at the practice. And we were both talking, because I coached Jim in Houston, just how good Thad Matta was. And I was really impressed with his staff, too. And Archie Miller, Sean Miller's brother, coaches at Xavier. Man, that guy was impressive. He should be a head coach in major college basketball.
A lot of coaching plugs early.
Are you kidding me? There's more on the horizon.
I know. Gibson.
No, but I'm serious. I watched an outstanding basketball practice today. It was exciting to watch the great enthusiasm of the Buckeyes.
On a drive to right blocked. Ball knocked loose, picked up. I think it was Nick Young that got the block. Nice pass ahead to Dixon. And the Wizards back within 1. Serbiak guarded by McGuire. He's worked on his shot. Not apparent on that one.
No, to me, you see, you got to work on it, but never use it. Right? Just know who you are. Move the ball.
Pavlovich, no, they're going to wave it off. No basket. Use the left arm to clear some space. But work on your shot, at least making shots around the basket you want him to. Let's take a look again. Oh, yeah, he cleared out Sangaila. Nice call.
But I think anything should go if on a dunk. If you dunk it, you can do anything you want to the defender. That's a new rule to ponder.
Another proposed rule change?
You want to take it out? That's a great call by Derek Stafford, but I think there should be a new rule.
We'll talk to the Board of Governors. Alexei Pesharov, the 7-footer from the Ukraine, is in the game. Nick Young got knocked down. A lot of contact with Gibson and Young. Here comes Mo Williams again. Gibson traveled. The foot before he put the ball on the floor, and that's 5 turnovers for Cleveland. Ben Wallace back in. You know, we talk about certain guys who are keys. Ben Wallace, obviously not the player he was a couple of years ago when the Pistons won the championship, but he could still fill an important role here. He needs to play well for them. He's had some back tightness that's bothered him in the preseason a little bit.
It's just a struggle offensively when Ilgauskas is not one of the two big guys. When they have Varejao and Wallace in together, it just makes it a lot harder. You don't have anybody to post up or pick and pop with, so you have less space.
Nice move from Nick Young. Young had some nice games last year as he progressed. Pesheroff with a reach and foul. Williams sold it well. And the penalty already? That was pretty quick.
Is Pesheroff and Sengalia, are they twins?
One from the Ukraine.
They're separated at birth.
And
one
one
of those
from Lithuania. You like those? We had one of those for you last year. You and an old picture of you and Robbie Benson, if you remember.
Well,
meanwhile, gear up for the new season now at NBAstore.com and save $15 on your purchase of $100 or more. NBAstore.com. One store, every team. LeBron James getting a big cheer as he's sent back in the game. The Akron native. He did in Beijing. His defense was very impressive. And, you know, you talked to what Mike Brown said about his on-the-ball defense. Because not only is he so strong, but Flip Saunders has always said past couple of years he thinks James could be the fastest player in the league.
Well, and also, it just sets a tone. If a great player like him is going to care about the defensive end, you can have an influence on the other players. If your best players just give lip service to defense, so too will the team.
Dixon knocks down a good open three. And Cavs back up. Just under 6.5 for Jeff Van Gundy. Mike Breen on hand. Preseason action from the campus of Ohio State University. Final preseason game for both these teams is James off the mark. Here comes Young. Bad pass. Good transition defense from the Cavs, and that's what Mike Brown was unhappy with. Oh, a pretty move with the left hand from Bo Williams. That gets the crowd a little fired up.
But that's what he was brought here to do. Speed in the open court to give them more of a quick striking offense, get in their offense a little bit quicker, and also then spread the floor for James on his penetrations.
He was saying earlier today that one of the things he wants to bring to this team is get them some easy baskets. Sometimes the Cavs, their offense could be LeBron James just taking it one-on-one. Not a bad option, but it's nice to have others as well.
This fall, get more mileage out of your travel plans. Just stay at Sleep Inn or any of these Choice hotels, and you can earn up to $250 in free gas. Only when you book at choicehotels.com or 800-4CHOICE. Choice Hotels. We'll see you there.
From the producers of The Phenomenal Four comes what critics give 5 stars and hail as a top safety pick. It's Outlander from Mitsubishi. Out to make safety sexy. With active stability control and a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, Outlander's down with safety and serious peace of mind. The 2009 Mitsubishi Outlander. It's one righteous MPG machine.
The great thing about this game is that every year you get to start over. No matter how last season ended, you're back to where you started. At the beginning again. Undefeated.
I'm comfortable in jeans that are tough. I'm comfortable in Wrangler. Real comfortable.
Wrangler 5-star premium denim jeans. Satisfaction guaranteed. Wrangler. Real comfortable jeans.
The NBA season is back, and you can get it for less with the best deal in sports. NBA League Pass early bird offer. Order by November 4th and save $20 off the regular season price. See the top stars and your favorite teams wherever you live. And watch games online with NBA League Pass broadband, which is included with your subscription. NBA League Pass is just $169 for a limited time. To order and save $20, call now.
Mo Williams, the new starting point guard for the Cavaliers. 8 points as we're tied here, second quarter. Williams acquired in the trade from Milwaukee. His new head coach, Mike Brown, loves what he has in his new point guard.
He's a smart basketball player, and it's great to be able to have a guy, point guard, that you can rely on out on the floor, and that really loves and cherishes playing that position and running a team. And Mo's intelligence not only is going to help our team, but it's going to help me out. It already has helped me out a ton, and there's a lot of stuff I can learn from him because of his intelligence. So that's a plus. Obviously, his speed, like I said, is a bonus too.
Williams was born in Jackson, Mississippi, played his college ball at Alabama, a couple of years with the Crimson Tide, then a second-round pick back in 2003 with the Jazz. Didn't play a lot in his 1 year with the Jazz. Then last 4 years at Milwaukee, each year getting a little better. Again, as you said, on some bad teams. Now he's on a team with high expectations. Now he's going to play in big games throughout the year.
Without question, and I think your love of the game and your intelligent approach to the game is going to help him navigate a season with higher expectations.
Terrific defense from Ben Wallace. Oh, that's what Wallace is out there for. Pesherov gets the rebound and draws the foul. But that's the type of play Ben Wallace used to bring to the Pistons. Had great perimeter pressure, in addition to all the great shot blocking and interior defense.
I never thought Wallace was a great interior defender on his own guy. I thought you could post him up, but I think his help defense, his quickness on pick and rolls, his coming early to help on drives is what really set him apart on those great defensive teams for the Pistons.
There you see the numbers, and again, the numbers aren't going to be what they were with Detroit. Doesn't play as many minutes and with the back problems, and he's had a lot of long seasons, but he can still play some tough defense, block some shots, and grab a lot of rebounds. Wizards up by 2. Nice feed inside. Ogauskas with his third assist, and LeBron James, he gets a little extra cheer here when he does something well.
And again, those type of baskets are important for a guy like James, moving well without the ball. Mike Brown spoke about it. He thought that's one of his great improvements, his ability and his focus to cut with speed and force, and that was a great cut off a flex screen.
Shot clock winding down. Another good defensive sequence for Cleveland. Another wild shot from Young. Well, Mike Brown told us earlier today, he goes, our defense has to get better. He's got to be pleased with the way they played here in the first half.
Well, there's where Wallace gives you some advantages. He's able to switch some pick and rolls as Ilgauskas goes on the drive. Wallace has got great foot quickness and lateral quickness, and so he's able to switch and contain smaller players.
Meanwhile, the other big guy, Ilgauskas, using the left hand. Just terrific skill level for this 7'3" veteran. And Big Z will get a chance for a three-point play. He's played in 80-plus games each of the last 3 years. Has become, and no one would have thought this, he's become a very durable player. See his rebounding numbers a career high last year. Cavs back up by 2, just under 4.5 remaining in the second. And there's one of the pickups, D. Brown. A backup point guard for the Wizards as Jamison misses. They're hoping D. Brown, Eddie Jordan feels he's adding something they've been missing. Guy that can kind of change the pace at both ends. That's him guarding Mo Williams. D. Brown, the former star at Illinois. Williams. Ball deflected, they say, by the Wizards, so it's still Cavs ball. 6 on the shot clock. James last year, as we said, not only leading the NBA in scoring, he was 8th in assists, 10th in steals. Nice feed. Already had a couple of pretty assists here today, and Ben Wallace with the finish. There's D. Brown. That was a good team in Illinois between D. Brown, Luther Head, Darren Williams, some pretty strong guard play. There's JaVale McGee. Now, that was obviously way off, but that's been one of the real bright spots for the Wizards training camp. Here comes James all the way to the basket. You get the feeling when he wants to go to the basket, he can do it anytime, at any point.
Yeah, because it would take great courage to actually step in front of him on the drive.
11 points for James as we come up on 3 minutes remaining. Butler well short. Williams tries an alley-oop. Tip back. He knew he couldn't shoot it, so tried to pass it. And the ball knocked out of bounds by Washington.
But that's just a horrible decision. They're running stride for stride with LeBron James to take a reckless approach to a 3-on-2. See, that's where you've just got to make solid decisions and turn down your star player. You don't just throw it up at the risk of a turnover.
You said you enunciate horrible like Bill Walton. Horrible. Well, Williams knocks down the shot. A two-pointer.
He gives him a threat off the pick and roll. That's a good decision. They go under, give him a little space, balance up, square up, and knock it in.
Jamison traveled. You get the and I probably shouldn't say this. You get the feeling it's a point of emphasis with the officials. We've seen a lot of those calls throughout the preseason.
There's a lot of points of emphasis in preseason that sort of subside in the regular season.
Meanwhile, a 10-0 run for the Cavs with 2.5 to play here in the first half from Columbus, Ohio.
That's weird. Why is there a Domino's guy here? I'll take care of this.
Hi, I have an oven-baked sandwich for Steve.
Yeah, I'm Steve, but why would I order a Domino's oven-baked sandwich? I love Submart. Just leave it on the side of the building. Poor guy was lost.
Introducing Domino's oven-baked sandwiches. 4 flavors baked at 450 degrees and delivered right to your mouth. Just $4.99. Domino's. You got 30 minutes.
Never before has the gecko been captured on film talking about RV insurance.
So, you guys travel a lot. You should check out Geico and get a free rate quote on RV insurance.
This is truly history in the making.
You can also get a rate quote on motorcycle insurance, ATV insurance, personal watercraft insurance.
Sounds good.
Excuse me, I'm up here.
Geico, saving you money on insurance for your car and the other stuff that moves you.
Responsibly.
Fair, straightforward pricing. That's what TD Ameritrade stands for. Think about it. Why pay investing fees you shouldn't have to, or account fees that aren't clear, like inactivity fees or maintenance fees? It's not right, and you know it. And the thing is, the other investment firms know it, but they do it anyway, and that's just not fair or straightforward. TD Ameritrade. Independence is the spirit that drives America's most successful investors.
Final preseason game for LeBron James and the Cavs. It all starts on ESPN. The regular season Wednesday night, a doubleheader at 8 Eastern. It's the Suns and the Spurs from San Antonio, followed by the Lakers and the Clippers. It's a home game for the Clippers. NBA Wednesday on ESPN to start the regular season. Lakers are also going to be on a little bit later on tonight as they'll face the Oklahoma City Thunder in Ontario, California. As Kevin Calabro, and that's where our man Mark Jackson's going to be. He would not make the trek east to join us.
Yeah, when he starts issuing demands to management that he does not leave the state of California until the regular season, I think there's something seriously, seriously wrong.
We saw this stuff simmering last year, and hopefully we can keep a lid on it as Ilgauskas double team. Good help defense from D. Brown, but they call a foul. So they're in the penalty. And Ilgauskas will shoot free throws. 10-0 run right now as the Cavs have regained control. You know, I want to ask you, you look at some teams in the preseason, obviously everybody has different agendas. The veteran team, don't worry much about playing the veterans, but there are some teams who it's important to win in preseason. For example, like what Mike D'Antoni's trying to do in New York with the Knicks. They've had such a rough stretch over the past couple of years. A losing culture has developed. For them, winning preseason games means extra.
Well, I don't even think it's just the winning. I think it's you're getting down and narrowing down what you want to do and who you want to do it with. I love that he's come up with his rotation. He's stuck with it. They're playing their style, and they're not giving minutes to the 14th, 15th guys on the team that aren't going to play. I think he's doing the right thing, and I think more teams who want to get off to fast starts, particularly those teams that haven't been together or are going through a coaching change, that's the right approach.
And it's amazing. You look, especially with the way the Western Conference has been, when you have like the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th teams all fighting for that final spot. The East will probably be like that as well. You know, a one-game difference might mean making the playoffs or being out and getting back to the lottery.
That whole idea of gaining a cushion early in the year, where you're just more ready, you're in shape, you've got your game together both individually and collectively as a team. You know, piling up those wins are critical so that if you do run into a rough patch, either due to injury or you just run into a tough part of your schedule, you've got that cushion. You start off in the hole, it's hard to dig out of.
There's Butler. Out to Stevenson. Stevenson gets it inside, but it hit the baseline. Stevenson picked up his game last year without Arenas. Right now, though, the Cavs on a 12-0 run. Check that, a 14-0 run to go up by 12. And a foul away from the ball. Once again, it's D. Brown.
See, that speed cut right there is very smart play by Williams. Run as fast as you can on your cut and just run into bodies. And if you run into bodies, you've got a great chance of drawing contact, because the NBA over the past few years has made a commitment to having freedom of movement. And players have to realize more their in the penalty situation. You just make a tough cut and draw contact, you're going to live at the line. And Mo Williams, 85% free throw shooter. These are easy points.
Yeah, last year shot a career high from the line. Type of intangibles that can make a difference. That's why everybody in Cleveland's so high on this pickup.
I was always of the belief this way, Mike. I can find a lot of people in this world to give you the intangibles. I can't find the guys to give you the tangibles. Mo Williams brings tangibles, or he has to. And then if you can also add the intangibles, that is what separates and makes you a good pickup. And I think he can add both.
Stevenson knocks it down. Well, so far they've been thrilled with the way he's played.
Now this guy with the ball, he's got tangibles.
Well, Williams and LeBron James, they've known each other. They both came in the league at the same time, so they attempted like rookie seminars and orientations together and developed a relationship. So they know each other pretty well. And Mo Williams was telling us he felt that certainly helps things. He also enjoyed when the news came of the trade. LeBron James was in Beijing competing in the Olympics. So they didn't talk right away, but he heard all the comments when James was saying, boy, I'm thrilled that we acquired this guy. Got to make you happy. Williams said it felt like he won the lottery getting traded. And that was no disrespect to Milwaukee. It's just that he knows that the Cavaliers...
yes, it was. It was. Come on.
No, it's just that he has a chance now to compete for a championship. He enjoyed his time in Milwaukee and got to play well and progress, but now he's got a chance of a team that could get to the NBA Finals.
He got paid in Milwaukee by being able to play all those minutes and shoot the ball a lot. They had a very perimeter-oriented team. Hey, everybody wants to win in this league. You go through a 7-8 month year, you want a chance to be able to compete for it at some point in your career. And with LeBron James, you can compete for a championship. And just think about how much James has done to change the whole culture around Cleveland. Before he was drafted, no one wanted to go there to play. Now, guards certainly want to go there because they know they're going to get opportunities for wide open shots and to win.
And Danny Ferry doing an excellent job acquiring Williams. James, excellent help on defense there. Jamison flips it up, won't go. McGee keeps it alive, but right to LeBron James, and here he comes, the locomotive. Feeds Ilgauskas, and Ilgauskas has it knocked away, but gets it back. Cavs up by 16, starting to pull away here in the second. Butler. Tell you what, for a final preseason game, Cleveland's going at it defensively.
Well, I've just watched James. He's done a great job on Butler, containing him, making him shoot jump shots, shooting him over the top, and doing a great job of contesting those jump shots.
Butler just 1 of 6 from the field. Cavs on a 20-2 run in the last 5.5 minutes.
Drink Johnny Walker responsibly.
Cleveland Cavaliers about 150 miles from home as they play their final preseason here in Columbus. Close to halftime, and at the half, Matt Weiner, Jalen Rose. We'll look at the best of the East. And Andrew Bynum up close. And that's a Will Bynum story. I think I'm going to go with Andrew on that one.
I think you're safe on that.
And then LeBron James on College Game Day, getting into the Ohio State spirit. All coming up at halftime.
Not so fast, my friend. Lee Corso imitation. Love that.
James inside to Ilgauskas. Flips it up and in. Big Z. And a 22-2 run for Cleveland to close out this second period. Look at James picking up on Butler. Has to hoist up the three. Nearly banks it in. And that will end the strong first half. LeBron James, 15 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, and excellent defense. Cavs, meanwhile, do an excellent job. They shoot 57% from the field, have 13 assists, trying to close out the preseason in style. Halftime, it's the Cavs 57, the Wizards 39. After these messages, Matt Weiner in the studio.
I'm not sure I want to do this anymore.
I'm done with you.
The distance, it takes its toll.
I need to go faster.
I don't know. I'm at a crossroads.
Your relationship with running has you caught in a twisted tango between love and hate. You thought about leaving it more than once. Renew your love for running. The New Balance 805 and exclusive 830 running shoes.
I guess I'm not done with you yet.
Now at Dick's Sporting Goods.
From the producers of The Phenomenal Four comes a righteous MPG machine who knows the streets. It's Outlander from Mitsubishi. High gas prices and boring economy cars. Better watch out, because this hero's packing one lean, mean Myvec 4-cylinder machine. Loaded with technology and room for 7, Outlander's looking for action in style. The 2009 Mitsubishi Outlander. It's one far out CUV.
Title contenders square off when the upstart Cowboys ride into Austin looking to take down the top-ranked Longhorns. College football presented by Best Buy. Number 6 Oklahoma State versus number 1 Texas. Saturday at 3:30 Eastern on ABC. College football lives here.
Oh, Colin. Listen, we really appreciate this, but her food for the week is in the bag. Also, her ear medicine, that's 2 drops every 2 hours.
Who are you?
Oh, and she doesn't do the litter box. You'll figure that part out.
We're going to be listening to The Herd all week, we swear. the greatest pound-for-pound fighter in the world, Anderson the Spider Silva, fresh off his one-minute destruction of light heavyweight James Irvin, returns to the middleweight division to defend his title against the hard-hitting Patrick the Predator Cote. And Thiago Alves, coming off the biggest win of his career, will take on highly ranked powerhouse wrestler Josh Koscheck. The Ultimate Fighting Championship and Harley-Davidson present UFC 90, Silva versus Cote, live Saturday, October 25th from Allstate Arena in Rosemont, Illinois, on DirecTV pay-per-view.
I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
Senator Obama, I am not President Bush.
True, but you did vote with Bush 90% of the time. Tax breaks for big corporations and the wealthy, but almost nothing for the middle class. Same as Bush. Keep spending $10 billion a month in Iraq while our own economy struggles. Same as Bush. You may not be George Bush, but...
I voted with the president over 90% of the time, higher than a lot of my even Republican colleagues.
All right, based on his intensity, you'd think this is an early April game with a playoff spot on the line. LeBron James looking great. He has 15. The Cavaliers lead at 57-39 in this matchup of teams that have played each other each of the last 3 springs in the postseason. Welcome into our NBA Friday special. I'm Matt Weiner along with Jalen Rose. Cavaliers certainly in the Eastern Conference elite at this point, trying to make that next step. Looking great tonight so far, but where do they stand in your top 5 Eastern Conference teams going into the season?
Jalen Rose is Fab 5 for the East, and here we go. Number 5, I have the Orlando Magic. They had a tremendous season last year. They led by Dwight Howard, who's basically a man-child, who probably could lead the league in blocks and rebounds for the next handful of years. They shoot the 3 well, and they're going to be there when it's all said and done in the Eastern Conference. Next, you have the Cleveland Cavaliers, MVP candidate LeBron James. You add Mo Williams. Their bigs have to be consistent on both ends of the floor and stay out there and be able to create some production. Third, in the Eastern Conference, we're going with the Philadelphia 76ers. That's right, people. Elton Brand is that good. 20-10, he will be an all-star. Andre Iguodala is a star, and Andre Miller is the most underrated point guard in the game. Number 2, the Detroit Pistons. Kind of like Friday the 13th and Jason Voorhees. These guys just keep 6 straight Eastern Conference Finals. Will they have a sense of urgency to play all 82 games? Is this their last run? But they will be right there when it's said and done. Can't knock that experience. And number 1, the defending champion Boston Celtics. They still have Kevin Garnett, the Defensive Player of the Year from last year, the Finals MVP in Paul Pierce. Ray Allen still has that sweet shooting jumper. The bench will be a question, losing Posey and PJ. Doc is an elite coach, but the Celtics are right there at my number 1.
Not exactly going out on a limb there, but Philadelphia at number 3, that was daring on your part. This time last year, Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen were clearly the players to watch in the Eastern Conference. Who do you have your eye on right now?
It has to be Rasheed Wallace, and this is why. He's the most talented big man on the Pistons and one of the most talented big men in the game. Here's a guy that could get you 100 blocks and make 100 threes. In NBA history, he's the only guy to do that more than once. He's a free agent after this year. If he's inspired to play every night, if he can stay healthy, this Piston team is that much tougher to beat. When he's getting ejected, when he's not into the game, the Pistons become vulnerable. Very important for Michael Curry to keep Sheed active, keep Tayshaun Prince active in order for this Pistons team to go far.
And you've got a new coach in Michael Curry who knows Rasheed Wallace and has played with Rasheed Wallace, and the rest of those Pistons should command a little different kind of respect in the locker room in Detroit. You know, a player the Lakers would like to watch a little more of is Andrew Bynum, and they get him back on the court this season. What Bynum could mean to LA's hopes to a return to the finals coming up.
You know you're a true Outback fan when you think great coverage is crispy bacon wrapped around a filet on our mixed grill with sweet shrimp and sautéed scallops. You think a winning catch is our pecan-crusted trout, candied pecans drizzled with butter sauce. Let's go Outback tonight. One of our new fan favorites for a limited time. Let's go Outback tonight. Crave on.
Oh, the good life. You won't really fall in love, for you can't take the chance. Goodbye.
Rated M for mature.
Fable 2. Who will you become?
Now $1.99.
Get ready for the Buddy movie.
Knocked up my way.
Without the buddies.
You stole it from me first.
Two partners.
We look good. I'm sorry, man. I got on these tight slacks.
One comeback.
You ain't had it here since Ice hit Tina. I'm gonna learn karate and kick your ass.
And a whole lot of trouble.
Well, I got something to show you. Oh, yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson, Bernie Mac.
God, dope. What's wrong with you, mama?
Soul Man. Rated R.
Does bundling really save you money on your phone bill? You could be paying up to $45 a month with these guys. Get Vonage and pay just $24.99 every month. With unlimited local and long distance to anywhere in the US, Canada, and Puerto Rico. And only Vonage gives you free calls to 5 European countries. Get the home phone service that really saves you money. Sign up now and get the first month free.
Call 1-877-4Vonage or go online today.
Teams hit the road this weekend as the race for number 1 heats up. Number 2 Alabama travels to Knoxville to face a volunteer team that has upset on its mind. Joe Paterno and quarterback Darrell Clark lead the number 3 Nittany Lions into Columbus to try and do something that so far hasn't done since 1978. Win in the horseshoe against number 9 Ohio State. College football action continues tomorrow at 7:45 p.m. on ESPN and 8 p.m. ABC.
And Columbus will host College Game Day tomorrow morning. Lee Corso is going to make his picks. Will he don the big head of Brutus Buckeye? He'll have some help as well. LeBron James joins the show. College Game Day, built by the Home Depot at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. The King, they should have a crown for him as he makes his college picks. Well, by now you've probably heard about the Western Conference team that welcomed back a 20-year-old center back from a knee injury to camp this fall. I'm not talking about Greg Oden. I'm talking about Andrew Bynum. And the difference is the Lakers could have used Bynum in the NBA Finals last spring when they were out-rebounded by the Celtics by 5 per game. Bynum was averaging 10 rebounds per game for L.A. So it is not a huge leap to say that a healthy Bynum could be a difference maker this season.
And the crowd erupts again.
After 2 years of wondering if he'd ever develop into a star, 2007 was a breakthrough for Andrew Bynum. It seemed the Lakers found their answer at center until January 13th.
Had a finger roll, and
Andrew is down.
Andrew Bynum took a shot.
Not putting any weight on the left leg at all. That's not a good sign.
Suddenly, it was over. A dislocated kneecap sidelined Bynum for the rest of the regular season, the playoffs, and the NBA Finals, where the Celtics dominated down low.
Pierce gets inside to the basket, banks it in again. Paul Pierce driving at will, and so easy.
That was a problem that at least one Laker feels Bynum could have helped solve.
We're getting so many layups and drives to the basket. You know, if you had him back there, it would have helped us out tremendously.
You know, for me, it was super hard not to be able to do that, just because that's something I dreamed of as a kid, being able to play in the finals.
Now, Bynum is healthy, looking forward to picking up where he left off.
The knee is fine right now. It's 100%. It's ready to go. I'm stronger in that leg than I ever was.
Return of Andrew is huge for this team. He's going to be that big presence that we need down low.
Personally, I'm thrilled and motivated to play along him. We're going to have a lot of fun, and we should be pretty dangerous.
If Bynum continues to develop, he could very well add his name to the legendary list of Laker big men that includes George Mikan, Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Shaquille O'Neal. While it remains to be seen if Bynum can approach their levels, maybe this season he'll get a chance to prove it deep into June.
I'm looking forward to playing that. It's been a long time.
No pressure or anything, right?
Not at all.
No, so here are the preseason numbers so far, and you'll see Bynum and the Lakers in the second half of our doubleheader tonight with the Oklahoma City Thunder. But, Jalen, what is the difference between the Lakers with and without Andrew Bynum?
Like night and day almost, to be honest with you, because this young guy has size, he has skill, he's going to allow Pau Gasol to play power forward, and you can't teach the things this young guy's going to bring to the table. He can score the ball around the basket, shoot a high percentage, big-time problems for the opponents in the NBA.
And again, the Lakers and the Thunder in the second half of our doubleheader. After the Wizards and Cavaliers wrap up their business, Antoine Jameson trying to keep Washington in this thing.
I'm comfortable with new looks. I'm comfortable with Wrangler.
Wrangler Jeans Company. With new fits and new styles. Wrangler. Real, comfortable jeans.
We only got one room left, but I doubt you'll want it.
Why not?
It's a dead zone. Can't get your calls, your precious emails. It's like you don't even exist.
I've got the Verizon network.
You good? Oh. The towers are kind of scratchy.
We test America's largest 3G network every day. Verizon Wireless. Get the exclusive LG Dare. Full touchscreen, 3G speed, loaded with features.
Jerry is beyond great. He is better than the very best, but since there's no word for better than the very best, we just call him Sir.
The path to victory is paved with losers, feeble stepping stones destined to crumble against the destructive forces of a superior mind, who will come to be known as the victor.
Jerry's beyond great. He's better than the very best.
Conquer your friends with the new faster game of Risk. There will be consequences.
This is the largest online land auction in United States history. Over 2,000 land parcels across America must and will be sold regardless of price. This is a bank-ordered land liquidation. Minimum bids from $100, absolutely no reserves. Bid online now at landauctionbid.com. Own valuable real estate for pennies on the dollar. Every detail easily viewed at landauctionbid.com. That's www.landauctionbid.com.
ESPN, your NBA destination. The season tips off Wednesday when the Suns renew their rivalry with the Spurs. Then, Kobe leads the Western Conference champs against Baron Davis and the Clippers. Coverage begins Wednesday at 7 Eastern.
Ah, the peaceful and relaxing sounds of nature. If you're still using dial-up because you thought high-speed internet wasn't available where you live, think again. Think HughesNet. High-speed internet by satellite with the fastest speeds ever offered. Why settle for less? HughesNet uses advanced satellite technology, not your phone line. There's no dialing in, no tied-up phone lines, no missed calls, and no more waiting.
The key benefit for me is the speed.
This is so much faster for me than dial-up was.
It's freed up a lot of my time.
This is HughesNet. This is dial-up. If you're on dial-up, guess what? You're still waiting. Why settle for dial-up because of where you live? High speed is available today with HughesNet.
Get free standard installation when you order now. Call 1-800-587-7722 or visit 22hughesnet.com.
On the campus of Ohio State University, the Value City Arena, preseason action for the Wizards and the Cavaliers. 57-39 halftime score, along with Jeff Van Gundy, Mike Breen on hand. Mark Jackson will join you in the second game somewhere out in California. Meanwhile, LeBron James and Mo Williams, the two new teammates for Cleveland, Everybody talking about it, how he could add another dimension. They look pretty impressive in the first half.
Well, everybody knows James is going to be ready, but Mo Williams has really struggled in the preseason. I thought it was important that he play well tonight. And while he doesn't have an assist, he's got his shooting stroke going. Here in transition, pushing it hard, finishing with the left hand. Very nice finish. And then pick and roll, probably not as aggressive as you would like, but good pull-up jumper over the small D Brown. And hey, LeBron James, if he's making his jump shot, unstoppable. Last year shot only 34% outside the paint, 64% when he went to the rim and finished. No better finisher in transition than LeBron James.
And the two of them combining for 27 points on 9 of 12 from the field. Now, you see with Williams with 0 assists. Williams is, although he's always done a pretty good job last couple of years in having good assist numbers. Do you need a pure playmaker in terms of the point guard for Cleveland when you have a playmaker like LeBron James, or is it more important that you got a guy who's a threat to score?
Well, ideally what you'd like it to have is a combination that could score but also passes the ball well. But I think, again, this is a different role for any point guard. You're not going to have the ball in your hands as much when you're playing with such a great passer and playmaker as LeBron James. So you have to get used to that, and I think that's going to be a process for Williams as he goes through the first 20 games of this regular season.
Antoine Jamison foul. Foul goes against Pavlovich. That's his first. And as we said with Williams, he was not a good solid player at Alabama. Only played a couple of years. And then just a second-round pick. Didn't get that time with the Jazz. You like guys that you see he's obviously worked on his game, and getting more minutes has a lot to do with it, but he's a guy that's put in the time to make himself a better player.
No question. That's why the draft process is always an inexact science. It's hard to determine who loves the game and who, after they get a little bit of money, is going to continue to love the game and love the process of becoming a great player. So many players are satisfied with a little success. Here, a low second-round pick in the 50s is now a starting point guard for a contender in the Eastern Conference.
Ilgauskas lines it up. Big Z can still shoot. You know, it seems he's been around for such a long time because he had those years where he was out with injury. He's still only 33 years old.
It's just a great story how he persevered through all of those injuries.
Jamison line drive won't go. Broke his foot so many times, so many surgeries. Mo Williams, nice spin, wild shot though. And here comes the Wizards the other way. James pokes it away. Stevenson to Thomas, and Ben Wallace with the foul. First on Wallace, and Etan Thomas. You know, you look at a guy like Thomas, Ronny Turiaf. These guys who have open heart surgery and now playing NBA basketball. Turiaf, of course, now with Golden State. Now we haven't talked about the Lakers yet. Turiaf's former team. Bynum on the road back. He was playing so well before the knee injury. Are they your favorite going into to the season in the West?
Well, I think the Lakers and the Rockets are the two most talented teams in the West. I think the Rockets actually have a little bit more talent with the addition of Artest, and I think they're better suited now to be able to play through the inevitable injuries that they've encountered over the last couple of years. I'd be very interested to see how the Lakers play with Bynum and Gasol together with Odom at the 3. Is there enough shooting on the floor? Is there enough space on the floor for their team to operate efficiently? And can they make a renewed effort defensively? I thought last year they started out the year great defensively, and they were more committed. By the end of the regular season and throughout the playoffs, I thought there was slippage as far as their defensive intensity and their coverages.
Thomas gets inside, draws the foul. Ilgauskas fouls him from behind. So he'll shoot some free throws. One of the great things to see in Beijing this summer was the love that country has for Yao Ming and what it meant to him, even though he wasn't, coming back from the injury, what it meant for him to perform for his country on his home soil. And then when he hit that three-pointer against the United States in the first game, that has become one of my favorite moments that I've ever seen. The place erupted. He just had so much pride at that moment.
Well, he had pointed to that for a number of years. And the astute thing probably would have been not to risk injury. And yet, he could have cared less. He had wanted over anything else is to take the flag and walk it in, opening ceremonies, and have basketball become such a national stage there in China. I mean, he takes great pride in his country. He has great patriotism, and it's really great to see. And I'm very, very happy that he got to experience that and get back from his injury so quickly.
Pavlovich knocks it down. Yeah, Sasha Pavlovich is going to fight for minutes. They've got some interesting choices, and Mike Brown does, in terms of guards and who's going to play. Got some guys that can play both the 1 and the 2.
Someone's going to get shut out of minutes unless there's injury. And that's one thing that NBA players always have to keep in mind.
Ilgauskas with the block shot.
Injuries are going to crop up. And if you're not in the rotation early in the year, you've just got to stay professional, keep working at your game, because opportunities present themselves all the time due to those injuries.
And the Cavs had their share of injuries last year as Jamison misses. But no sympathy from Washington. No one's had more big-time injuries. James way off. And the Wizards have been hard to really get a feel on just how good the Wizards can be. Good save from Stevenson. Butler fouled on his way to the basket. And there's Gilbert Arenas. Again, the earliest is January to come back from the knee problem. This was earlier him working out. He's had three knee surgeries in the past 17 months. So somewhere between early January and the All-Star break when he'll return.
But the guy averaged 20 points a game last year, almost, playing on a bum knee. I mean, that guy has tremendous speed and explosion, great long-range shooter, and again, I think Washington's ability to take it up a notch is going to be dependent on when he comes back, is he committed to the defensive end of the floor? And he's never shown that every night commitment to defense. It's something that James has gotten over the last 2 years. And I think it's imperative for Arenas to develop that mindset so his teammates follow him like James has followed him on the Cavaliers.
Now, is it also, does Arenas need to say, all right, I don't need to average 28 a game. I need to average 20, 21, or is that?
Well, no one ever said that about guys like Jordan or LeBron James when he averaged 30 last year. I think as long as they're good shots, quality shots, and he's playing unselfishly. By the way, that shot right there, he made look easy. That's impossible what he just did. Driving full speed to his left, step back, shoot it with his right hand and make it. But I think as long as you're unselfish and you're playing to win, it doesn't matter how many points you score. That guy is going to score 25, 26 points a game.
Right. Foul before the shot. Go against Ilgauskas. 15 foul already for the Cavs.
Wow.
And again, as you said, we start to take it for granted, the spectacular moves that he makes, although he got good help from a hard screen by Ilgauskas.
See, in coaching, that, you know, when you start talking about coaching, that's when you say, yeah, that's my system. That's my system. Yeah, we worked with LeBron on that, going, you know, on that crossover and one, you know, step back off the wrong foot.
We asked Mo Williams what he's been most impressed with LeBron James, and he said, he goes, nobody works harder. It's just he's out there working all the time. Obviously, he has this great ability, but he enhances it now with the work ethic, and as you said, now the work on the defensive end as well last couple of years.
And he's got more work to do. He's going to have to become a better jump shooter. And he's, I guess, spending a lot of time on that. But That's important for their development as a team, that he can shoot the ball from the perimeter, because everyone is going to try to, as they game plan for him, sag, and make him beat them over the top versus allow him to get into the paint where he's such a great finisher and passer.
And there are the numbers you spoke about earlier as the Cavaliers will call a timeout. Just over 4 minutes gone by, third quarter of preseason action for the Cavs and the Wizards.
October is Ford Truck Month, and it all ends soon. Get up to $7,500 cash back on Ford F-150 and Super Duty pickups. America's #1 selling trucks. And during the final days of Truck Month, get up to $7,500 cash back. The most towing, the most payload, and now up to $7,500 cash back on select F-Series models. It's the final days of Ford Truck Month, the best time to buy.
Hey, Mr. Sunlight, gonna outshine your bright. It's just the beginning of a happy go fun day. Happy go fun day. And I'm feeling kind of Sunday. Sunday. Feeling kind of Sunday. Sunday. Feeling kind of Sunday.
I'm so there.
When you're there, State Farm's there for the best day of the week.
I got Eve.
Sock it, devil, rabbit.
Let's do this.
I'm almost there. All right, you ready? Let's go. Wow.
How you doing? I'm Adam.
Hi, Adam. I'm Eve. It's too weird.
They've got a little captain in them. Got a little captain in you.
Drink responsibly. Hi, I have an oven-baked sandwich for Steve.
Why would I order a Domino's oven-baked sandwich? I love Submart.
Just leave it over there.
Introducing Domino's Oven Baked Sandwiches. You got 4 savory flavors for just $4.99 each. Domino's. You got 30 minutes.
The great thing about this game is that every year you get to start over. No matter how last season ended. You're back to where you started. At the beginning again. Undefeated.
This copyrighted telecast of the NBA may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise used without the written consent of the NBA. Log on to NBA.com immediately following the game for live press conferences and video highlights.
ESPN's presentation of NBA Friday, brought to you by Ford, Drive One, and State Farm, where great coverage meets great rates. Call, click, or visit and start saving today.
Here in Columbus, Ohio, they get ready for the big game, Ohio State, Penn State tomorrow night. Tonight, they've got NBA preseason action. Cavs made the trip down. They lead the Wizards. We're talking a lot about Mo Williams, the new starting point guard for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's not the only new acquisition, expected to have a pretty good impact. A couple of big names that might have huge impacts. There's some of them, Jeff.
Well, I think the Artest move by Daryl Morey and the Rockets was a stroke of genius for their franchise. To me, it gives them enough depth to withstand injury. I think Elton Brand will give a post presence to Philly that they have not had, which I think gives them the chance to move into the top 4 in the Eastern Conference.
Of course, Marcus Camby going to the Clippers, but Baron Davis going to Golden State as James knocks down that 3. LeBron James, 7 of 9 from the field, 20 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds, a little bit of everything. Mike Brown playing him more than he's played him in most of these preseason games. As Caron Butler finally gets one to go.
Butler in that mid-post is very difficult because he has the jab step jumper and he can put it on the floor. I thought James defended him well. Good shot by Butler.
And we talk about Williams. Butler's a guy that has worked himself into a 2-time All-Star now. What a terrific two-way player as Mo Williams knocks down a 3.
And that was a great read and screen by Ilgauskas. As the help came to LeBron James in the post, Ilgauskas screened the rotation and really freed up Williams for that wide open 3.
Butler misses that one. Williams with 15 points. Cavs have been taking a lot of threes, but they're 3 of 5. Coming up on the midway point here in the third quarter. Williams tied up. James another three. 3 straight threes for the Cavaliers. And they've blown this one wide open. He has such, because of his strength, his range is unlimited. Jamison, tough shot, gets it to go. And Antoine Jamison now with 13 to lead the Wizards. Ilgauskas. Williams on the drive. Tough shot that time. Here comes Daniels. And good transition defense from the Cavs. That's what Mike Brown said before. I'm not happy with our transition defense. He should be here tonight. James will try it again. In and out.
And this is the point of the game. If I'm Mike Brown, I'm very nervous. You're winning by a lot. Last preseason game. How long and how many minutes do you want to play your guys?
Thomas misses, and Wallace the rebound. Yeah, it's a tough choice because you talked about earlier. You want to get guys in rhythm. You want to keep them in good condition. But at the same time, I mean, a guy getting hurt in the final preseason game, you want to.
Well, you see him when he's raising up to shoot. You've seen so many guys landing on people's ankles.
Ilgauskas, good ball movement, comes up short.
Oh, we have to see that again. That was a great pass by LeBron James. The strength as Daniels finished to go to the rim and throw a baseline drift pass on target with his left hand, probably 30 feet in the air. My, oh my.
Daniels to the free throw line. Verja will check back in. Well, the fun thing is we're watching a guy that by the end of it, let's take a look here.
Now, this didn't lead to a basket, but if you're watching film and you're the Cleveland coaches, you're replaying that, I guarantee you, 10 times to make sure you just saw what you think you saw.